sense as we work in tandem. And remember, this is a patient forum. These are real lives, real experiences, which is why we love to have these opportunities to be able to have these discussions. So this is why we are continuing to do whatever we can to raise the voices. And for those that don't have a voice, we are committed to achieving this. And this is why. You will note in this presentation that, you know, images are ripped and they're torn because we don't have the complete picture. We need all of us, and we need to be able to improve this. Our system changes as we move forward. This slide, if anyone has seen me present, I do like to spend time on this. And so because of the importance, and this is looking at deceased organ donation and the importance and why it is so critical that we have the appropriate systems to have no missed donor opportunities. So to bring us all on the same page, because if we have this level of understanding, we can move forward. So a representation on this chart here of what, again, annual deaths, the 100%. How many of those deaths actually happened within a hospital setting? Drops to 46%. And then out of those, and again, we, just like Dr. Cofield said, never discount yourself, especially if you're a deceased organ donor. Let the medical professionals do that. But in general, out of those, how many were under the age of 70? It drops to 14.6%. And then out of those, 3.1% are those actually deemed even eligible, that with our current criteria in Alberta, which are brain and cardiac deaths. Out of those, how many were maintaining on life support? And you can see that the potential donors come down to only 1.2%. That does not mean that they're actually going to be a donor, they're a potential. So we want to be able to have the best system possible that is going to optimize and catch these tremendous opportunities to save and impact lives. So why does this matter? We've seen a lot of charts and data, and again, we know that organ and tissue transplantation saves lives through, again, the amazing work done by Murray and the team at AOG. It saves money, especially on the kidney side. And this is a map of Canada taken across, which again, based on donors per million, this is, we are the lowest province in Canada. I did see that earlier in the chat, but I thought this presentation will be coming up. So we definitely have to be able to step up our efforts to change and improve. This is the goal of the campaign, saving lives through no missed donor opportunities. It is so important and critical that we and our wishes are actually respected and honored. We go through now the ability to be able to register our wishes, right? When we get our driver's license renewed, if you haven't done it online. But the most important thing, you have to continually speak to your family about your wishes. Because again, nobody's checking to see if, did you actually do that? Did you actually register? So we want to ensure that our wishes are respected and honored. And we know that we have the leadership here. We have the facilities here to really become a leader in deceased organ and tissue donation and transplantation. This is what we have been doing for the past over 4 years. At the Kidney Foundation, organ and donation has always been critical to our work and supporting patients with chronic kidney disease, of course, but this has become a movement, and it is a patient movement, and we've actually removed our name from it because Kidney Foundation in itself is like, well, you're only then speaking on behalf of kidney patients. And I can let you know that we are not. It is for all. We've been able to bring in the Liver Foundation and the Lung Association to join our efforts to reach out to those communities. And we've reached out to Heart and Stroke, who is looking to see about adding their voices. It's all of us together that are going to move this. And I'm very proud to say that every step of the way, patients have been involved. We have been able, and donor families have been involved, and recipients, and those that have been waiting. Also having these discussions and the feedback, which we've continued to incorporate. We bring in information, we try to bring in the best current statistics and articles and videos, and again, inspiring the patient movement on the More Transplants site. And we will continue to do so because there's nothing more powerful than a patient who is living this experience, and the families that live this experience along with them, and the communities that have been impacted by those that have been and waiting for a much needed organ or tissue donation. What we're asking you to do, Murray kind of said it, what else could we be doing? We are asking you to add your voice to us, to let others know about adding their voice to our campaign, and that is addressing our crisis to our government, to really step up and show leadership. We have been meeting with officials from all levels, and from the current government and to our official opposition. And I can tell you it's a nonpartisan issue. As you continue to reach out and meet with your MLA and direct it to the Premier and direct it to Minister Chandra, you will see that they are in support of this. And so we are then asking them to step up and push for the much needed changes, the final changes that have been needed, that way back in 2013, when the Human Tissue and Organ Donation Amendment Act was hardly put into effect of all of the information that was part of that. The More Transplant campaign allows you to add your voice via letter, via petition, social media. We have the images, we have the path set forward, and we ask you then to work with us as we continue to leverage our relationships with both the government and within Alberta Health Services. On January 28th, Minister Chandra said, ultimately, our goal is to improve donation rates and save every life possible. And we 100% agree with him. He reiterated this on May 19th. Again, we know we're in a pandemic. Our lives have changed, and we'll find out what our new normal will be. But again, recognizing how this has impacted those with organ failure. And he repeated that our goal is to improve donation rates and save every life possible. So we need your voices to continue to push him and again, our current government to achieve this by completing the paths that have been stepped forward. This is what's been achieved to date. I will take a moment. Has it been our efforts? Has it been the efforts from the Alberta Organization Group? Has it been the efforts from patients? Has it been the efforts from other groups and organizations and medical professionals and researchers? And I would actually have to say yes to all the above, because it takes every angle consistently pushing. Can we narrow it down to a specific person to say, yes, you get the gold star? No, we can't do that, because we know that, but as what has been incredible for us in 2021, despite being a pandemic, I can let you know that the changes that you have seen here were achieved just this year. The registration was what Minister Chandra was referring to when this became improved, but much needed improvements, which was January 28th of 2021. The donation teams and the donor audits are being implemented with the new program, and again, recognizing this is going to help identify, but we're not there yet, because why? Accountability is missing. When you go and visit our More Transplants, we have the paths that have been set, and I say we celebrate the achievements done to date, but we can't have something being amiss. 2013, when the Human Tissue Donation Amendment Act, we were all very hopeful, and I know there's people on the call on today that were part of those conversations, and yet where has been, it fell off. We can't let organ and tissue donation fall off. It isn't something that can fall off because that is connected to lives. And at a time that we are looking to be able to find the economic cash flow that could support this, that COVID, of course, has tapped so many resources, this is an area that the government can actually look at. They have received the charge. They have received all the information. It is really a win-win for saving lives and saving money, because we know how organ failure impacts individuals and their families and their communities, the economics, their physical well-being, their mental well-being. And we know that individuals and families just want to get back to be able to leading a more fulsome life, which an organ and tissue donation actually does. We talked about at the beginning how it is important to respect individual and family wishes. These faces, and I'm sure everyone here knows Logan Boulay. Bryn was a tissue donor, Tia, an organ donor, and of course Logan, that inspired the Logan Boulay effect that helped hundreds of thousands of Canadians register their wishes and start talking about organ and tissue donation. We need to be able to have a system that allows the donor families and us as individuals that have made those choices to actually be respected. I can't say it better than a donor family said. We know that together, that is how we're going to be achieving an impact. And in this regard, it is about deceased organ donation. We live our life to the fullest, and then you pass it on. So I just let everyone know, please visit our moretransplants.ca site. Together, I mean, you're hearing that in so many ways, but I know, and we have seen it. The power of a patient voice, the power of inspiring a movement is how we're going to be able to educate, raise the profile and the importance of this critical issue, push for the leadership, because once you have that knowledge, you begin to inspire others, and that completely leads to change. So thank you very much. And I know that I am cut off right now. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.